everybody, this is Charlize the Nocti Girl out here at Cinegear inside Warner Brothers Studios with the new Cinepeer Weebill 3E. Let's see how this lightweight and compact gimbal performs. I've been on the hunt for a new gimbal for a while now, and let me tell you, gimbal shopping isn't easy for me. At 5'2" and 110 pounds, my physical limitations make it tough to handle big rigs no matter how much I train. Coming from shooting live events that can go on for hours, I've always relied on rigs with body harnesses, which let me shoot for longer periods since the weight is centered on my body, not my arms. So finding a handheld gimbal that's compact yet big enough for my camera setup has been a real challenge. That's when Zhiyun reached out to me with their newest Cinepeer Weebill 3E, and I couldn't wait to give it a try. I was pleasantly surprised by how straightforward it was to set up the gimbal. As I had just gotten the unit right before my trip to Portugal a month ago, I basically figured out the assembly, mounting, and balancing on the plane before I landed. Here's what's included in the box. You have the main gimbal unit, a quick release plate, a plate base, a tripod, and a small pouch here that includes a USB-A to USB-C cable, a USB-C to USB-C cable, an Allen wrench, and a 1/4-inch screw that goes on the plate. I really wish it came with a travel case because depending on what I need to bring on a trip and how I configure my think tank roller bag, the gimbal might not fit in there. That means I'll need to store the gimbal separately. Although this gray box it comes in is nice and durable, it's quite bulky and takes up a lot of space in my carry-on or check-in luggage. Before you start using the gimbal, make sure to fully charge the built-in battery by plugging in the included USB-C cord here. I was quite impressed by the battery life as I was able to go a full day of constant shooting without needing to recharge, though it actually boasts a runtime of more than 16 hours. I found that the best way to mount the camera is to attach the tripod first so the gimbal sits evenly on the ground for balancing. With the screen on the gimbal facing you, slide on the plate base with the two lock latches facing right, like this. You'll see arrows pointing in the direction the base should go. Secure the plate base by pulling down the bottom latch. Don't worry about the exact positioning of the base just yet. We'll adjust that shortly. Once that's done, set it aside. Just a heads up, don't turn on the gimbal without a camera mounted, as it won't function properly. Next, take out the quick release plate, the Allen wrench, and the 1/4-inch screw and mount the plate on the camera. Make sure to install fresh batteries and memory cards in the camera before mounting the plate, as the access doors might be blocked by the plate on some camera models. Remove any unnecessary accessories like the lens cap or lens hood, as they can affect the balance of the gimbal. Slide on the camera and tighten the latch on the back. Flip over the back screen if you plan to use it, then connect the camera to the gimbal with the included USB-C to USB-C cord. Now we're ready to balance the gimbal. First, unlock the tilt access switch and quick release plate latch. Slide the camera forward or backward until it stays level to the ground, then lock the quick release plate latch. Tilt the camera so the lens is facing up, then loosen this level mount screw here. Slide the whole setup front and back until the camera can stay facing up or in any direction on its own. Once the camera is vertically balanced, you can tighten the screw to complete this step. Next, unlock the roll access and loosen the plate leveling base latch on the right. Slide the camera left and right until it stays level to the ground on its own, then lock the plate leveling base latch. Finally, balance the pan axis. Unlock the pan axis, then loosen the pan axis latch. With the tripod feet pointing forward, slightly tilt the handle forward. If the lens swings down, slide the pan axis back. If the lens swings up, slide the pan axis forward. Keep adjusting until the camera stays parallel to the ground like this. Once the camera stops swinging and stays put in one direction, tighten the pan axis latch and complete the step. For those wanting to shoot in portrait orientation, the gimbal allows for that too. Just flip your camera to portrait orientation and follow the same steps to balance the gimbal before switching it on. After balancing the gimbal, you can finally turn it on. Make sure you unlock all 3 axes before powering it on, or you might get an axis lock warning. The same warning might appear if your gimbal isn't balanced correctly, so keep that in mind. This is how the screen looks when you turn on the gimbal. The first thing I do is go to Menu, Motor, Auto, and let it calibrate to the weight of my camera and lens to ensure everything functions properly. There are many options for manually fine-tuning adjustments to your needs. I love how simple and intuitive all the buttons are. First, there's the power button, accessible with your thumb. Then there's the menu button right underneath for adjusting other settings. You then toggle this control wheel to choose the setting you need and press down to confirm. The menu button also functions as a back button to return to the previous screen. On the left side, you've got the joystick for tilting the camera up and down or panning it left to right. Just below that, to the left, is the red record button. I love how you can half press the button to activate autofocus before fully pressing it to start recording. The M button to the right lets you easily switch between different shooting modes. On the front side of the gimbal, there's a big trigger button at the top. This lets you switch to customized gimbal modes or return to the previous mode. Double pressing it repositions the gimbal to its default position, and triple pressing it puts it in selfie mode, swinging the camera around. Triple press it again to swing it back. The adjustment wheel underneath allows you to customize various parameters such as the roll axis, tilt axis, pan axis, or even digital zoom if your camera supports that function. I really like how the handle fits perfectly in my hands, especially considering how small they are. Some of the bigger gimbals make it hard for me to get a firm grip, and I sometimes worry about dropping the camera, especially after using it for a long time. I also got this sling grip with a wrist rest, which gives me a firmer, steadier grip and provides comfortable support for my wrist. It's super easy to adjust on the go, and the grip allows me to shoot effortlessly from different angles. Here's some footage I shot on the gimbal with the Fujifilm X-H2S at Cinegear. I even found the Zhiyun booth at the show and was able to check out other cool products they had. Have you tried Zhiyun gimbals before, and what are your thoughts? What cameras do you use your gimbals with? Let me know in the comments section underneath this video.
Alrighty, you've been knocked up today and I'm really knocked out. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!